Hello and welcome back to Europe 1100. I actually got super lucky with this particular quest. That's the reason why I'm actually starting the episode here. It hasn't been that long after the previous episode, because obviously I said to you, hey, you know what? There's not much to do right now. And yeah, true, there still actually isn't, but we're probably going to be doing quite a few tasks here, and we're going to get into some battles, so maybe you want to stick around for that. If you don't like tasks and or tournaments and or trading or anything, any of the above, then you know, you probably you might not want to stick around. But if you do, I appreciate it. I appreciate it wholeheartedly. I very much enjoy having you here and experiencing the journey alongside me, because I actually did just gain a new companion. The new companion is now running one of my caravans, and I'm very much hoping that they're going to make me a good profit. I think I have, do I have like 3 caravans now, or is it 2 caravans? I'm not entirely sure. I feel like I don't have, I'm not sure. I think I have 3. I think I have 3, but I have 5 companions total now, and that is obviously the maximum that I can currently have. I'm gonna need to level up my clan tier to be able to change that, or to increase that, shall we say, and that's gonna be taking me quite some time. Anyway, we've got some decent level ups here as well. I'm actually kind of hoping that I can get, yep, as you can quite clearly see, I'm gonna need to get my hands on some horses. I'm gonna need war mounts, and I've actually been looking around, and there doesn't seem to be many, which is obviously a big problem. You can see here as well that I actually don't have that much money. I did have around, I think in the previous episode, I ended with around 10,000. And so basically, I'm just going to run you through what I did before we continue with this quest here. So basically, I went all the way up to Kirkwall. I figured out that, well, I didn't figure out, but I realized I had a bunch of actually relatively valuable market goods. Well, not really valuable, but they sold for about 2,000, 3,000 in Kirkwall. And I decided, okay, that's it. There's nothing else there. There was literally nothing else there that I could do. I could buy some grain, and I bought a little bit of food just to, you know, give myself a little bit of variety. And then I went over to Glasgow just to get some trade rumors increased. Doesn't seem to really be happening, you know, anything happening there. And then I went down to York. Now, York has an insane amount of hogs for some reason. I don't know why there are so many hogs there. I can only assume that these 2 villages have been transporting and trading huge amounts of hogs towards York. That can be the only thing that I can assume to be the case. And I purchased a bunch of those. And so what I did was I purchased a bunch of those. I obviously slaughtered them, took them to Glasgow and sold them. And that sold for, I think it was 9,000 or something like that. So I had 21,000 at that point, or 22,000 from my total gains. And I also found the companion at York. So I recruited him for 500, got the caravan, and then I, well, just sold a couple of extra things just for a little bit more, another 2,000 or so I think it was, and now we have this caravan escort mission, and this is actually from London as far as I'm aware, isn't it? Yes, so I was actually at London as well, so I'm actually not entirely sure. Maybe I got the companion from London. Yeah. Actually, that might have been the case. Anyway, we're still a mercenary, of course, so this is really, really effective. This is actually super effective for us. Yes, I know. Pokemon terminology. What? Terminology? No, it's not terminology. It is indeed terminology. Anyway, we are going to be making our way in here. I'm so incredibly incensed about the fact that we don't have any war mounts, because my Scottish light cavalry are literally just waiting in the wings here. They have leveled up. I don't even know, 3 times, 4 times over at this point, and it's just an utter crime, to be honest. It is an utter crime that we are not able to level them up into anything dramatically better than what they currently are. They're going to be so strong if we can just get them a little bit more viability in the form of those mounts. You know, if we can get some mounts, then this is going to be exceptional. It's going to be so good. Unfortunately, I'm not able to right now, so I'm going to just try and figure out if there is actually a village nearby. I've been looking, I don't think there is, But I'm going to take a look at the map after this. Oh, nice, level up as well. Very good. Oh, yeah. There we go. Let's try and hit these guys. If I can get them actually bonked on the head, this is going to be fantastic for us. Because if we can do this, we're going to gain so many prisoners as a result. Obviously, I don't have any focus points in roguery at the moment, and I probably won't, to be honest. I mean, maybe I will at some point, but I highly doubt it, because we're more of a trading character than a roguery character. But nevertheless, you know, being able to sell some prisoners here and there is actually, it can be quite profitable. You know, it's all right. So there we go. We're going to gain a couple more. And as you can no doubt tell as well, we've actually got a pretty significant amount of capacity for troops. So that's also something that we have to bear in mind, meaning I'm going to go to some, well, after this quest is done, of course, I'm going to go to some noble villages, and I'm going to try to pick up as many, you know, noble units as I can, and that's hopefully going to provide us with a pretty significant benefit if I can, once again, find some war mounts, because basically every single marketplace that I've gone into so far has had war mounts available. Of course they have, but they're very expensive. Very expensive. So I'm going to have to try and see whether I can find an appropriate village. I'm just going to go in here. There we go. Okay, these guys are actually going to be slightly difficult, I think. They might be quite tough. I'm kind of thinking, should I go for a focus point in roguery right now? I'm actually not sure. Because I'm thinking to myself, what do I do if I get roguery increased? Does that actually help me at all? I mean, the perks do not help me at all, by the way. The perks are not going to help me in the least, which is obviously something that we have to very much take into account, because obviously if we're just doing this for battle loot percentage, I'm not sure if that's really, is that going to be worth it? Because in the end, if you have a lot of roguery, you're going to have way too much loot to know what to do with it. You're not going to know what to do with it. It's just literally going to be standing there in your inventory, not really doing much. So that's kind of a bit of an issue, isn't it? So I'm now thinking maybe what we want to do is go for a point in two-handed, go for a point in riding, or maybe a point in athletics. I'm thinking maybe athletics at this point. Why not? Let's do that, because if in the end we are actually going to be going into some sieges, which I'm definitely going to be aiming to do at some point in the near future. Hopefully it will be the near future. We are going to, of course, be on foot, and well, I mean, technically you can enter on your horse, and it is viable to enter on your horse, I suppose, and actually do some damage like that. But I'm not sure how. I don't know. I'm not sure how we're really going to pull that off, because maybe it's going to be. I don't know. Maybe they're going to do too much damage. Maybe the garrison's going to do too much damage. Maybe it's just not going to be, you know, possible for us to enter without, you know, getting a headshot to the face or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, we're obviously going to try, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, these guys are literally very, very simple for us to eliminate. I will try to eliminate as many of them as I can myself, because if I can, that obviously does give me some pretty decent two-handed skill. It also does, of course, get us additional prisoners, and hilariously enough, I should have sold my prisoners in that town that I was in just now. Yeah, I should have done that. But thankfully, I have exactly 9 spaces, which is very funny. Exactly the amount that I needed, and then we can just move on. This is, as I've said multiple times, if you have, you know, if this is literally like one of your first series that you've watched from me, then you won't know this, but I've always said, escort caravan missions, if you have the ability to defeat the raiders that crop up throughout, then you really do want to do it. You want to do an escort caravan mission just purely for the fact that apart from you literally getting 3,700 from the actual, you know, completion of the task, you're also getting a bunch of prisoners, which is, of course, going to sell for 1,600, or dependent on how many you're actually able to knock unconscious, of course. So that's pretty amazing in itself. And then apart from that, obviously you could go for a manual laborer task if you wanted to maximize your gains, you know, even more. And then apart from that, you obviously now have the ability to sell the loot. And there's a bunch of it. Look at this, 2,000 right there. And we should probably also get rid of some of these saddles, because we're actually not using these, and they are just weighing us down unnecessarily. And I do need war mounts. So yeah, as you can see right here, We have a Cantirian charger for 1100. I mean, I don't really want to buy this for 1100. It's too expensive in my opinion. But I might have to bite the bullet. That's the thing. I literally might just have to bite the bullet at this point, because they are, and by they, I'm talking about mounts here. Mounts are quite expensive in general. They are just quite expensive, and I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to make a good go of things here. But you see how much money I have right now? We started the episode with 6,000, and look at how much we have now. We have 20,000. That just goes to show exactly what I'm talking about in regards to the Escort Merchant Caravan mission. You do one of these, and obviously if you're a mercenary, it just gets even better. Becoming a mercenary is just wonderful for these kinds of situations. It's absolutely incredible how much profit you can make from it. Anyway, we're going to buy a bunch of this. I'm going to buy a bunch of this as well. We're going to get some pottery, and we're going to get some raw silk. Raw silk sells for a pretty decent amount at York. let me just make sure I know where I'm going. That would be funny. And we can also actually buy some tools too. Can sell the tools at London potentially, but obviously this is a pretty big expenditure. This is a lot of money to be spending at one time in regards to trade skill. So this is one of those times where I would actually urge a little bit of caution if you're not having a bit of passive income. Because I obviously have passive income right now. I don't have to really worry greatly about running out of cash or being unable to pay anything. And look at this, my friend Mr. Horse Thief is continuing to win tournaments at London. As you can see, he earned us another 2,000, which is very nice. And he actually, what? How did he gain? I have no idea how he gained charm skill, but apparently he gained charm skill somehow as well. So there you go. He's doing absolutely fantastically. And there's York. Look at that. That was very quick. Okay, I wasn't actually expecting to come here so fast, but there we are. Anyway, here we go. Or not, as the case may be. Right, well, Glentor ponies are cheaper than anything we've seen so far, so I'm actually going to be buying some of these, even though they are literally going to be costing me 8,000. That is significant. I'm not a big fan of this at all. I really don't actually want to do this, but you see how much raw silk I have right here? This is another reason why it would probably be a good idea to just get a little acquainted with the trading system sometimes, because trading can make things much cheaper. You don't have to worry about, for example, I'm going to buy all these tools, by the way, but you don't have to worry about, for example, like these war mounts right here. I can literally just do whatever I want to do with them. I'm actually going to buy some of this back. There we go. So now look at that. Look at that. 5 skill points. Look at that. I got 5 skill points just from that one transaction. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, we want to try to increase that even more. And that's also the reason why I personally believe, as a base, in the base game, I think caravans should provide you with trade experience. I think running caravans should give you trade experience passively, because trade as it is right now, without any mods, it's hard. It's hard to level up, and I don't really want to be, just stuck in the trade screen for, 99% of the game, basically. Okay, yeah, so we can actually buy tools here. Wait a minute. No, I can actually buy tools here for a very cheap price. So yeah, as you can see, my investment in tools has now completely backfired, which is fine, because I don't actually need the money that much, which is amazing, because look at this. I can literally just buy all this linen instead, and we can actually make something happen here. So otherwise, apart from that, we can actually buy we could buy the Glentor ponies. We could buy the chargers. Let's buy these. This is gonna be very expensive, isn't it? Yeah, this is gonna be very expensive. Oh no, I am going overboard here, but I really do want to get my troops leveled up. Look at these guys. They're gonna level up into Scottish Knights. They are gonna do so much damage with this upgrade. It is going to be incredibly useful for us. Let's go to Northampton, actually, because there may actually be something there. No. As you can see, we're not getting anything really lucky at the moment. We're just literally getting the same costs. I don't really want to spend any more money right now. And let's go back up to York and actually see if there's anything happening there. But this is the whole point. If there is also a task, then that's obviously a lot better. So if you can get a task that is just, you know, I don't know, merchant caravan ambush or something like that, you're gonna have a great time. But look at this, look at this. I can sell this linen for 180. Boom, look at that, 4,100. We can sell these grapes for 52. Boom, gonna sell that. And the raw silk, obviously this is just completely dead in the water for me right now. The tools are also dead in the water for me here. So that is not looking particularly good. But again, doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, we got a bunch of hogs here as well. There we go. We got 3 trade skill for that. And we've got the hogs as well. So this is great. So look at this. What we can do with these guys, we can literally just slaughter the whole lot of them. And then we're going to go over to Glasgow. And we can literally just do whatever we want there. We can sell the hides, we can sell the meat. I don't know whether they're actually going to need any of these things. But we're going to take a look and see whether they actually do need them. Yeah, it's all right. But look. Glasgow is willing to buy tools, and the raw silk as well. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to sell these for as much as we can. I'm actually going to just leave it at that, and we're going to gain another 9,000. And this is exactly the reason why I say trade skill is definitely something you don't want to really sleep on too much. I think, yeah, it can definitely be a bit of a grind, because that's just, yeah, I mean, obviously that's the game. You know, the game is very much a grind when it comes to trade skill, unfortunately. I would much prefer it, as I said, if the, you know, caravans that you hire would actually provide you with some really big benefits. But yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case. So yeah, I can actually sell these hides right here. I can sell these hides, and I can sell the meat, or I can go somewhere else. Kirkwall doesn't seem to be showing here, so I'm just going to sell these just for whatever. And we purchased those hogs for not that much as far as I'm aware. But there you go, look at that. I gained another 6 skill points in trade, which is just wonderful. Look at that. That is so, so nice. And so, as we can see here, aha! Now this is going to be extremely, extremely useful. So look at this. Minus 15% price penalty while selling animals. So now, there was actually someone in the comments that told me about the mount price penalty. Okay, so I'm actually thinking that I might respec, because Deeper Sacks, which is the perk that I'm talking about here, I'm referencing this, it provides you with a minus 10% trade penalty for mounts. Now, this is actually something that I might decide to go for, because it provides me with, I'm pretty sure it's going to give me big gains in regards to trading horses. However, the problem with trading horses is that I don't know whether trade penalty is also applied to buying them. You see, I don't know whether it also reduces the cost of buying mounts, because if it reduces the cost of buying mounts, then that is going to be an exceptional thing to take. For example, the same thing, but this is while selling, you see. This is while selling, not with buying. But you can get a minus 15% price penalty while buying from villages, which is actually something that we really do want to go for. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll go for distributed goods right here. I'm not actually marked as anything, am I? No. So we're going to be the steward here. So that means that we now have a huge, look, I mean, look at this. We've got a massive, massive discount here. Well, not massive. I'd say, I mean, 15% is pretty good in itself. But look at this. I can literally buy these hogs. 500 for 21 hogs, which is really nothing. And I'm hopeful that if we go to Kirkwall right now, I'm also hopeful that we'll get some tasks sometime soon, so that we can actually enter into some battles and things like that too. Because, as I said, otherwise there's not much that's going on here, which is somewhat unfortunate. I really wish that there was a way that I could, you know, force the issue, but me forcing the issue is probably going to be counterintuitive anyway, because if I force it, then you know what's going to happen. Then they're going to get embroiled into some other battles, or, you know, something is going to happen, like, you know, war is going to start in multiple fronts for the Scottish, and then it's just going to be absolutely terrible, and I have you know, basically backstabbed my own faction for nothing, you know. So I'm kind of hoping that they're gonna do something, you know. I'm hoping that they'll do a little bit of making some moves somewhere else. And we're just going to be getting a bunch of these. But yeah, you can see here that literally, let me just take a look at the villages real fast and let me see whether there are any that actually sell horses apart from Northampton. No, that is literally it. That is hilarious. The only place that sells horses is Northampton. And what about over here? No, that is... okay. Wow. I'm going to need to go somewhere else, I think. I'm going to need to go somewhere else once I have like a full army out of, you know, my Scottish Light Cavalry. I might try to find a better place for war mounts because as it stands right now, we are really not getting very lucky in that regard. So yeah, anyway, Kirkwall is here. And what are we going to do with this? Well, obviously, we're going to sell our tools here. I mean, you can sell the tools at Glasgow, but as we know, that is actually not the case. You know, I mean, you could see there that the price was higher, but I don't believe it. I actually don't believe it, so I'm not going to be believing that right now. And I'm going to be buying some raw silk in exchange. And then what we're going to do is I'm literally going to go over here, and we're going to... just slaughter the hogs real fast, and then we'll just go into Kirkwall and sell the hides, because I'm pretty sure these are going to be fantastic. Yeah, as you can see there, we're getting 1,500, we're getting 2,000. So I spent 1,000 on these, and we're now getting basically 3,000 for it. And obviously, this is not even the best place to sell these, by the way. This is not the best place to sell these. So if you can find a town that is going to be exceptional for it, where they'll actually buy your stuff, you know, buy your hides for a lot of cash, then it's going to be great. This guy has a manual laborer task, but that is unfortunately not going to be the thing that I'll be able to do right now. I'm going to go into the tournament here so we get a little bit of fighting in the episode, because I personally feel like breaking up the monotony a little bit, even though I personally enjoy trading a great deal. But as I warned at the very beginning of the episode, if you are not a fan of the trading gameplay loop or anything like that, then you probably are not still here. Anyway, the point is, oh dear, I'm now by myself. Whoa, okay, I'm actually really surprised that they didn't try to attack me at once, but they were very... defensive. I never thought I would say that the defensive nature of the AI was actually beneficial to me this time. There you go. Alright, that was actually quite funny. Oh yeah, so what is it now? Kicks actually penetrate block, but shield bash doesn't penetrate block. Someone told me that in the comments. So when I was attempting to shield bash another fellow that was blocking with his shield, obviously that's not going to work. But if I kick like so, that is going to make a difference in their blocking. Apparently. So I will try that out, because I actually thought that you could only shield bash when you had a shield and you couldn't kick. I thought you were restricted to only shield bashers, which is obviously a bit stupid of me, but, you know, that's what I thought, because that just goes to show how much I've actually used that mechanic. You know, I've never used it. It's just not my thing. I don't like it one bit. I think it's very clunky. I think it's super clunky and doesn't seem to be that responsive, and I don't know, it's just me. I'm not a big fan of it. However, as is the case with the new style of doing things here, I'm going to have to be a little bit better at using it, I suppose. And there we go. Thankfully, the enemy didn't want to block or anything like that. And we were able to gain the 6 renown, which is great. It's wonderful. I love getting the 6 renown, so that's obviously going to make a big difference to our overall clan tier progression, which inevitably will mean that we're even closer to the next clan tier. Unfortunately, this fellow doesn't really have anything for us, but yeah, you can see here, look at this, I'm going to need a huge amount, and you can see as well that we've got, how many? I've got 3 caravans, yes, I have 3 caravans, that's wonderful. I could technically make Mr. Horse Thief into a caravan as well, which I might decide to do, because at the moment he's earning me 2,000 every single time there is a tournament, and I'm kind of wondering, is that good? Because how often is there a tournament? I think that's the question we have to ask ourselves. How often is there a tournament, and is it going to be worth it for me to just leave him in there for the foreseeable future as a result? I don't know. See, that's the question that we've got to ask ourselves. Is it actually worth it? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. But yeah, I am probably going to be making him into a caravan. I'm thinking it's probably going to be worth it. But obviously right now I'm actually spending a huge amount of money just recruiting people, and I'm probably going to be spending even more money trying to get horses as well, because the horses, they're going to be a bundle. They're going to be a bundle. I mean, you can see here, look at this. Okay, what's really funny about this is that these fellows literally have no horses, right? So technically I could sell these for a pretty tidy profit right here. So I could sell the Sumpter horses very easily, actually, for quite a lot. And you can see here immediately the price takes a massive nosedive. So I have to be a bit careful about doing this. But you can see that we're going to get about 1,000, which is okay. Not amazing, but it's alright. And let's just take a quick look at what else they have available here. I'm thinking that I will want to get something to take down to London, but it seems to me like we're not going to be getting anything. Maybe the raw silk, but I already have a bunch of raw silk, so that's not really going to be something that I am going to be super good about taking, so yeah. And as you can obviously tell, there are basically no horses here either, so we're going to just go on to York then, I guess. I mean, wait a minute, there is actually a task here. This is gang needs recruits. Yes, unfortunately the gang and criminal activity stuff that we're going to be seeing, that is not really applicable for us right now. That is very far away from what I'm currently attempting to do. Ah, hello, wait a minute. No, never mind. Okay, I actually thought this was going to be something amazing. Actually, it could be really, really good, because look at this. The average price here is very low, right? It's very low for this horse. So I'm thinking right now, should I just buy this? Let me actually just see how this goes. Let me see how this goes, because I have quite a few of these. Yeah, I'm actually not entirely sure. I'm just going to sell all the weapons now, because I want to try to minimize the amount that I'm having to spend on these mounts. I know I was saving them for smithing, but I just don't have the time to sort of stand around in the smith and just, you know, get my stamina back. That's kind of the reason why I hoped that maybe something would be done in the future about making it so that you actually do have your stamina recover as you're traveling. Does it actually recover now? I don't think so, right? I don't think it does. But if it does, then, well, that's my bad, obviously. But anyway, I'm just going to take these. Thank you. We got these as well. This is actually pretty decent. I'm going to be spending quite a lot here, but question is that going to be worth it? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay, well, we're going to go into London here and see exactly what's going on with the marketplace. I'm kind of hoping that raw silk is going to sell for a decent amount. No, it doesn't seem like it. Hides are selling for a good amount. Tools at Kirkwall are okay. Linen is obviously fantastic. Seems like linen is a really, really good thing to go for. So I'm actually wondering, do I want to do something with that? Do I want to do something with the linen? In other words, do I want to purchase an enterprise that actually allows me to produce linen? Is there actually a linen? There is a linen weavery here, as you can see. And what do they actually make linen out of? That's the question. Because I'm thinking to myself, how is it flax? Do they make it out of flax, or which village around here is actually applicable to it? Because I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to assume it's flax. I don't know. Oh well. Never mind. Okay, well, yeah, what we're going to do now is we are literally just going to go straight up to Glasgow, because we know that they basically don't have any horses whatsoever. So we're just going to go straight up there, and we're going to see how much we can actually sell these Botanian hobbies for. And they're hopefully going to be quite a lot. It's only 400. Yeah, it's only 400, unfortunately. I was kind of hoping that it would be a little bit more. I could actually sell this, though, for 350, which I will definitely do. And we could sell these Midlands Palfreys as well. But yeah, the Botanian hobby is not selling for that much at all. So I'm not sure what we're really going to do about that. But yeah, we can sell the linen, as you can see, for 134, which is absolutely fantastic. Look at this. Look at the amount of profit that we're getting from this. It's absolutely insane. It's so incredibly good. Wow. Really, really nice. I am super pleased about that. And we also now have a couple more mounts. But you can see here, I literally have... I mean, literally, 8 out of 43 of these guys. I have 8 out of 43 of those fellows ready to level up, and I just don't have enough horses. I just don't have enough horses, so I'm actually gonna... wait a minute. Durham. Oh, Durham has something. I didn't see that. I didn't see this village. All right. I didn't know that Durham was actually a place that we could buy horses, but apparently it is. Okay, oh. Yes, as you can see, it is a place to buy horses, but not one that is actually going to be providing us with anything amazing. That's very sad indeed. What about York then? Does York actually have any war mounts available here? Maybe the trading people actually took them in here? No, doesn't look like it. Yeah, so, okay. My strategy for getting war mounts is not going to be finding any villages with which to go to and buy them, because that's going to be way too expensive. So the best thing that I can do, and I'm going to see, yep, I need 175 skill. My strategy is going to be to get the breeder perk. And once I have the breeder perk, you know what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to sell every single horse that I have, or at the very least, I'm going to be starting to swap the horses around. So in other words, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell all the regular mounts, or most of the regular mounts, not all of them, of course, and I'm going to swap them with war mounts. So I'm going to buy the war mounts, and we are eventually going to build up a significant stable of war mounts. So we're going to have at least 15, 20, 25 war mounts just relaxing in our inventory. And from there, the breeder skill is going to take care of it. And hopefully we'll then be able to make a significant amount of war mounts, and then I'll be able to level up all of these wonderful, wonderful light cavalry troops, and then I might actually be able to make some inroads attacking some other faction. Unfortunately, we just do not have any support whatsoever for any kind of, well, any kind of, declaration of war or anything like that. As you can see, there's basically 0% across the board with every single one, apart from the Kingdom of Ireland there, and everyone else is 0. Which is actually quite sad. I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to get people to, be like, whoa, we should attack them, I don't know how we can really do that, but maybe I should become a vassal or something like that, but I'm kind of thinking that I actually kind of appreciate not being a vassal right now, considering mercenary, because being a mercenary is very lucrative, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe, you know what we want to do? Maybe just attack some English caravans. Ah, there's a caravan ambush right here. This is fantastic. Okay, let's do this. This is going to be really, really good. You'll see exactly the reason why. I mean, obviously, if you've seen this before, you know. Oh yeah, I'm way too close to them. My bad. I was like, yes, I really want to do the caravan quest. Yeah, I was so over eager that I was about to fail it. That's so funny. Okay, yeah. Anyway. We can go straight on in here. Obviously, if you take a look at my combat strength now, my combat strength is incredible now. Just because I have these Scottish Knights. Just upgrading them once has fundamentally changed how much power we have in a battle. It's going to make a huge difference overall. Unfortunately, I'm probably going to get wrecked, actually. No, don't die, please. I really want to get to 175 in riding skill. Please, don't kill me, sir. They are going to kill me 100%, but I will try to get a couple of kills at the very least. It's so dark as well. It's really, really dark. Hopefully I have remembered to actually make this lighter for you in editing, so you'll be able to actually see what's going on. But for me personally, it is extremely dim and dull, and I'm not going to be able to see exactly what's going on here too much. That's the reason why I'm literally just running around aimlessly here, because I'm just frantically searching for some enemies, but as you can see, they just got absolutely stomped, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Anyway, 11.6. Wow, we actually got 11.6 influence for this? I'm really surprised, actually. That is kind of weird. Wouldn't have expected to gain so much from it, but there we go, and we've increased our relation with the guy. We gained some charm skill. Obviously, if I had more skill points in charm, this would have given me quite a bit more. Not that much more, but it would have given us, quite a bit. Yeah, I guess it would have given us a decent amount. Anyway, the point is, we were able to win that very comfortably. We've got a lot of loot right here. Nothing really amazing, mind you. The loot is going to be very mid. It's not going to be particularly amazing. However, it is going to be okay, because look at this, we got 1400. Obviously, we've got the weapons as well. So if you think about how much we actually gained from the task itself, that was 2,200. We've got 2,800 from this. We also got some mounts, I assume, as well. And maybe we also got some other things here. I actually don't know whether we got any trade goods. I mean, I have some iron ore here for some reason, so maybe I got something from there too. But we basically took all of that, and look at that. We've already gained a significant amount. And obviously the prisoners too, so there you go. We can sell that for almost 1,000 as well. So overall, that quest, which took us, well, what was it? A minute? A minute to do? Maybe a minute or 2 minutes to do? Literally gave me about, what, 6,000, 7,000 in gold, which I think is absolutely incredible for such a short space of time. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. I apologize for no wars or skirmishes or anything grand happening, but hopefully this has given you a little bit of extra, you know, shedding some light, shall we say, on the trading system and, you know, the various other things that I talked about in the episode, because I can't remember exactly what I've mentioned now. But anyway, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.